This is Rebecca Gale Howell, reading my poem, How Will I Know You? For months the hot canopy screamed. A sonar pinged. But at what? We had stopped talking to each other. The storm door slammed. You flew right at me, dumb, graceless. I forgot to flinch. I pulled you out from my hair. Bronze wings, 5 red eyes. Expect damn all, you said. Expect you, I said. I didn't. My dogs ate you. My dogs, who are also you. About this poem. I have a few acres in Kentucky, a wildness bigger than me. How Will I Know You is one in a sequence of devotional poems that carry the same title, in which all beings of that place are experienced as the we, both dangerous and divine.
If I had a gun for every ace I have drawn, I could arm a town the size of Abilene. But don't you push me, baby, 'cause I'm all alone. Well, you know I'm only in it for the gold. All that I am asking is for 10 gold dollars, and I could pay it back with one good hand. You can look around about the wide world over, and she'd never find another honest man. Last fair deal in the country, last fair deal in the town. Put your gold dollars where your love is, baby, before I let my deal go down. Go down. last fair deal in the town. Put your gold dollars where your love is, baby, before I let my deal go down. Well, don't you push me, baby, 'cause I'm only low. Well, I know a little something you might never know. Don't you touch hardly, get just a cup of cold coffee. Gonna wake up in the morning and go. Now everybody's bragging and drinking that wine. I can tell the Queen of Diamonds by the way she shines. Cut to bye-bye on an inside string. Well, I got no chance of losing this time. Well, I got no chance of losing this time. Well, I got no chance of losing this time.
Welcome to a very special edition of Dead Box. My name is Ryan, and I'm joined by
Chris.
This is the end of an era, and it makes me kind of sad. The other day, we learned that Bob Weir passed.
In all the great bands, it's usually a couple folks.
Yeah.
Lennon and McCartney, Keith Richards and Jagger. I mean, even with Led Zeppelin, you always have
Yeah.
Jimmy Page just like knocking
Page and
Robert
Plant.
Plant
Yeah.
off the stage while he's playing his solo.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, but you needed both of those characters with Jerry writing songs with Robert Hunter and Pigpen being this kind of bluesy,
Yeah.
force that the early band, he really is so important to that early incarnation of the band. When he's again out of the picture, who's going to be the foil for Jerry?
Yeah.
And who's going to have this other kind of dynamic? Because Jerry would, these incredible solos, but his voice is kind of thin. He's a Stella Blue kind of guy,
Yeah.
That's where he
Fragile kind of voice, and
that just
different.
Yeah, and where Bob Weir goes is the opposite direction. I'm going to sing the rock and roll songs. I'm going to get loud. I'm going to be this thing that Jerry isn't going to be. And
Yeah.
you say, well, that kind of completes the thought is you'd have this burst of energy
Mm-hmm.
that Bob Weir would always add to this stuff. Always a little out of control when he would get excited.
Yeah.
He'd
Yeah.
be a little out of himself.
You'd be
But
a total rock star.
Yeah, but someone who's now the other voice of the band.
Yeah, and kept obviously the stuff going after Garcia passed too, and kind of spreading the message of the Grateful Dead and their music, and then just think about how many people in that scene and beyond like played with him and like collaborated with him in different ways.
Yeah.
It just kind of touched a lot of people. I was very much like into the original Grateful Dead. I wasn't totally into all the other other combinations, but I always knew like he was doing the right thing. You know, I always knew that his spirit was still there, and he was bringing this music to a whole other generation. Um, you know, and you know, I think one of the oddest things he said, like he had a dream where he was playing Grateful Dead music with John Mayer, and then he formed Dead and Company. And I'm not making that up. Like I
Yeah.
think he actually said that. Like you
Yeah.
know, which is interesting. It's a total Bob Weir thing to say, though.
Yeah.
And it, you know, I think when I saw him, I think it worked. I mean, it was definitely an interesting combination, but you could still kind of feel the presence. Like he just became this kind of like guru of everybody around him, um, just because he had all that kind of wealth of knowledge of the music and just um, you know, all those songs that he brought to us was just it's incredible.
They're saying, well, how are you keeping the band going, or what's the future for, the Grateful Dead music
Yeah,
and whatnot? And he said, again, something that's very Bob Weir-like. He goes, well, the kind of present level, we'll just do what you do. But I'm more interested in if we're going to have an impact 300 years from now. The true folks aligned to the band, not the people who were showing up breaking down the gates at the end of their career, but the people
right.
who followed them as a band of songs as much as a band of performances. Uh,
Yeah,
that they're rare. What they do is rare. Their
definitely.
impact is massive, and it will be interesting. I don't know about you, I might only last 250 years. So I might not know about
Yeah.
300 years from now, but I'll let
Hey, you
you
know,
know. I'll write back.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you can definitely make that case, and I think the Grateful Dead to me are like, aside from jazz and things like that, are probably the quintessential American band.
Mhm.
Just because they embody so many different types of music, and you know, they couldn't keep a keyboardist to save their life, but like, you know, like the people who passed through, they all kind of brought something new to the band. Um, and yeah, I think Weir is right. Like I think it will endure as like just like a message, but also um, I don't want to say time capsule, but you know, it really embodied a certain time period that transcends that time, right? So, you know, of course you had the 60s, but then you know, fans of the Grateful Dead, some say they were responsible for making the internet, you know, like we need a way to catalog these songs and all the statistics and communicate with each other. And so that's kind of a, you know, a pretty interesting thing to think about, that the Grateful Dead has kind of spawned all these things, and one of them was the internet. And you know, you had of course like this whole culture around the band, everything from their sound, and you know, all the way to people who were heavily involved with their road crew. They're still around. Some of them talking about their experiences. Um, you're nothing like it, really.
Yeah. Bob Weir sort of stood as this, kind of last verification. And so now it sort of is the test. There will still be spin-offs of this music, as it should be.
Definitely,
How is it celebrated? How is it passed on to other generations? It was kind of the last word on how to proceed with this music.
definitely. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we'll see, right? I know I'll keep playing it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, typically we come in with a record for Dead Box, and you know, so one thing I was thinking about, and I put this on. It was something I picked up from Record Store Day a long time ago. It's great, Grateful Dead, and it's one song. It takes up two sides of vinyl. And so the first side is 21 minutes, the second side is 24 minutes. And the song is playing in the band, which Bob Weir wrote, sang on. The location is Seattle, Washington, 52174. So, folks, this is a 45-minute live version of playing in the band. You're not going to get any better than that. I'm sorry. You know, and Bob Weir, of course, has a big hand in this song. Um, we were talking a little bit ago about how sometimes a song would come into the Dead, and it would become this like jam vehicle, and they, you know, really take it out there. The first like recorded version of Dark Star was like 2.5 minutes, and I think the longest live versions were up in the 40-minute region. So um, same with this song. You know, it was something that very simple, kind of catchy, but then it was able to be expanded in a live platform and shown, different avenues. This particular recording was from the Wall of Sound era, so it's where they really had on the market the best kind of sound system you can ask for in a live setting, where anywhere in the room you can hear it and you can hear every instrument. It just became very tedious for them to carry that around and set up and do that. But I think it's great. It's probably one of my favorite eras of live Grateful Dead is 72 up to 74. It's probably for me, just that's where they really kind of hit their stride. They went down to one drummer, and so it became near the end of that particular era, like they were playing jazz, like jazz fusion and doing things like that. So if you can find it, if not, I think it's part of a bigger box set, and that's one of the main songs on there. But can you imagine that being in a show and seeing that, like having no idea the song starts 45 minutes later, they're going to wrap it up. I mean,
Right. I hope you brought your lunch. I knew when this happened that we had to kind of use our connection through the Dead Box to just chime in
yeah,
on an important person in Bob Weir.
absolutely. He will be missed.
Yeah.
First one's a Buck Owens tune. Buck Owens was a California musician. I guess he was actually originally from Kentucky, but he came out here in the Dust Bowl era. Maybe he was from Oklahoma, I'm not sure, but he came out here in the Dust Bowl era as a kid, and started. It was almost single-handedly. Well, he and a guy named Noel Haggard more or less started the Bakersfield music scene, and it kind of, in some ways, rivals Nashville, in some ways rivals Austin, and there was a lot of stuff that happened there. Together again, my tears stop falling. Long, lonely nights can come to an end. The key to my heart, hold your hand, and nothing else matters. Together again, the gray skies are gone. You're back in my arms, right where you belong. The love that we knew
Never look back, girl, into the eyes of love. If they catch you dreaming, they'll make the rain fall down. After the rain comes, after the wind blows, we'll look up at blue skies. I told you so, I told you so. Hang on, hold on. Hang on, hold on, hold on. You'll always find a way. La la la, la la la. That was a good one, but everybody's wonderful plans won't hold together. So baby, stop crying. Stand your ground, baby. You won't be wounded for long. Even the weak get stronger. I know, I know, I know, I know. Hang on, hold on. Hang on, hold on, hold on. We'll always find a way. La la la, la la la. Come on back, girl. You don't have to live in a dream. Deep in your midnight hour, it hurts so much to believe. Stand your ground, baby. Baby, stand on. Stand on, baby. Oh, I love, I love, I love, I love. Hang on, hold on. Hang on, hold on, hold on. You will always find a way. La la la, la la la. Hang on, hold on. Hang on, hold on, hold on. You will always find a way. La la la, la la la. Hang on, hold on, hold on. 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 Hang
I have seen where the wolf is set by the silver stream. I can tell by the mark he left you were in his dream. Ah, child of countless trees. Ah, child of boundless sea. What you are and what you're meant to be. Speaks his name, though you were born to me. Born to me, Cassidy. tambourine. Close the gap of the dark in between you and me, Cassidy. Quick beating and icy heart, a pitch cold jaws a coffin guard. There it goes, now here she starts to cry. Flying the seabird, scattered like lost words, wheel through the storm and fire. Let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now. Let the words be yours. I am done with mine. Very well now. Let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now. Let the words be yours. I am done with mine.
Has success spoiled the dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, it looks pretty rotten to me, doesn't it?
So how has it changed you? I mean, how is
Well, I was noticing the other night, for instance, that when I'm going through pistachios, opening pistachios, that the hard to open ones, I don't bother with them anymore. Who's got time?